Hi everyone, it's Michelle. Welcome to class. Today's class will be for all levels. I'll give you some modifications if you're new, but if you've been practicing for a while, go for it. Take it to the next level, take it to your level. Have fun, enjoy. Let's get started. It'll be about 60 to 75 minutes. So we'll see how it goes. Let's get started in child's pose. Bring your toes together, open up your knees to a comfortable width or bring it closer for more support in your back. Hands out in front of you or hands out by your side. And then rest your forehead on the mat, or if you have a block, rest it on the block. And we'll just take a few moments to settle in, to allow ourselves to ground and prepare ourselves for class. Take nice deep breaths in through your nose and elongating the exhales out of your mouth. A few more just like that. Hitting the pause button on everything off your mat and hitting the play button here on your practice, on your breathing. We'll start to activate our Ujjayi breathing. Take a deep breath in through your nose, pulling the breath through the very back of your throat, drawing it deep down into the lower belly. And then exhale, pulling the breath through the back of your throat, out of your nose, all the way to empty. Again, inhale through your nose. Start to activate your pose. Stretch and reach your fingertips out further. Lengthening through the sides of your waist. And on your next inhale, lifting up the torso and walking your hands over to the right. And then we'll just stop here and observe on the left side of your body, inhaling, moving breath in the left side of the ribs, all the way up to the armpit. As you exhale, let go. Find softness, relax your face and your jaw. And really just use this time to notice what might be going on in your body. So when you do feel sensations of soreness or tightness, take a pause and breathe and really focus on that area. On your next inhale, we'll lift up the torso and walk it all the way over to the other side. Bringing the awareness to the right side body and just observing how it feels to open it up. And trying to breathe deeper and deeper each time. And letting the exhales be a little longer and slower. Just to feel the softness and the sense of letting go. Next inhale, bring it back around to center. And then set an intention or centering thought to keep you focused on your practice, in your body, and on your breath. Lifting up to all fours, line up the creases of the wrists, elbows, and shoulders, pressing down with your hands, dialing your triceps back, broadening the collarbone and pulling the shoulders back. And then stack your hips over your knees and start to flow through your cat-cows. Inhale to arch the back, pull the chest forward, lifting the gaze. Exhale, rounding your back body, pushing away from the earth with your hands, shins, and feet. Inhale. Imagine dragging your hands back by your knees, pulling the shoulders together and down. And exhale, round and curl, separating the shoulders, lifting the heart up and the belly up to hollow out the front body. Inhale, pick up your feet and tuck your toes, walking the toes up without moving the knees. And exhale, round and curl. One more just like this. From here, we're going to start to circle around our mat, getting more into the wrist as we move forward, the sides of the hips as we move to the side, and then back into your feet when your hips meet your heels. And then reverse it. Inhale to the left and exhale to the right. And you can make your circle bigger or smaller. It's up to you how you feel today. And bring it back to neutral. Dial your fingertips back towards your knees, taking a gentle wrist stretch. If it's too much, dial the fingertips out to the sides. And just breathe. You can move around with circles, cat-cows. And for those advanced yogis, you can fly your peacock pose, bending the elbows, melting the heart, lifting the legs, maybe a plank or a down dog. I know Susan loves those, which is awesome. When she does it in class, she's like one of, very few people that are doing it. So we'll just lean back onto our heels, give the wrists a little shake like you're shaking off water off your hands. Reach your arms up, open up your fingers, make a fist with your thumb on the outside, open and close for about 5 seconds, as fast as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Interlace your fingers, push your palms up. Try to get your biceps by your ears or pull your biceps back behind your ears. Draw your lower belly in and your ribs. Take one more inhale here. Try to get a little longer through the sides of the waist, and as you exhale, circle your arms around, bring your hands back to the mat. Pick up your feet and give it a little tap or roll out your ankles. And then we'll take the right hand, flip the palm up and wiggle your fingers. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then we'll do a few arm circles, moving slow. As you inhale, move the right hand back and up, and as you exhale, reach forward and down. So just about 2 or 3, or maybe you're moving a little faster so you get more. Reverse your direction. Inhale back and exhale forward. Inhale, feel the opening on the right side. Feel the right shoulder moving back and down. And then the next time your hand comes up, take a pause, breathe in, and on an exhale, thread the needle through the hole. Pressing the left hand down to roll your gaze up towards the sky. Nice gentle little twist. And then bringing the right ear back down and maybe extending your left foot back, maybe left hand up. So many options. If you're new, I would keep the left knee down. One more inhale here. So if your left leg is up, keep it up. Bring your left hand back down and slowly rise up to balancing table. Stretch your right arm forward and left leg back. Inhale and exhale, round and curl. Inhale, stretch and reach. And exhale, rounding curl. One more inhale. And exhale. Modified side plank. You'll place your right hand down. Spin your right foot off the mat like a kickstand. Kick the left foot back and then lower the left foot down, stretching your left bicep by your ear. So if you have any other version of the pose, feel free, start to explore. If you're new, stay right here, draw your belly in, focus on your breath, and start to find something to rest your gaze on. Take one more inhale, quality exhale. We're gonna lift the arm and the leg back up, bring the left leg over to the left, lower the left foot down and rise up to gate pose. Inhale here, take your left hand to grab a hold of the right wrist and get a gentle side bend stretch on the right. Push down a little more with your right knee and shin. Reach a little more with your right arm. Inhale, coming up, lowering your hands back down. Lift your left leg in little pulses for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knee, bring it in, and then a few circles. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Reverse your circle. Warming up the hips. Breathe deeply. And bringing the left knee back. Take a moment, line everything up. A few cat-cows or maybe some circles around your mat. One more breath in wherever you are. And then onto the other side. So your left palm will flip up. You'll wiggle your fingers, make a fist, breathe in deeply. And then our arm circles. Inhale, sit back on the heels, reach the left arm back and up, and exhale, forward and down. Inhale and exhale. One more time around, and then reverse. Inhale up and back, and exhale down and forward. So what would your breath look like mirrored through these movements? The next time the hand goes up, take a pause, breathe in. And on an exhale, thread it through, bringing your left ear to the mat, pressing down with your right hand to roll your gaze to the sky. Or just keep the left ear down. Whatever you did on the other side, try to mirror it over here. One more breath. If your right leg is in the air, keep it up there. Right hand down. Slowly rise up. Find balancing table. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more. Modified side plank. Left hand down. Left foot spins left like a kickstand. Right leg back, straight and strong. Then lower your right foot and stretch with your right bicep by your ear. And wherever you went on the other side, if you floated the knee or kicked the left foot out or grabbed a hold of the top of the foot, start to move into it now. You have one more breath. Lifting the right arm and the right leg back up, swing the right leg around to the right, lower the right foot down and lift up to your gate pose. Make sure your right foot lines up with the outer right knee. Right hand grabs left wrist and a gentle side bend stretch. Push down with your left shin to reach up and over to the right. Inhale, coming up, lowering your hands back down, lifting your right leg and pulse up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, bring it in and circle it around. Inhale and exhale. Moving around that synovial fluid. Reverse it. Inhale, exhale. And then we'll bring it back to all fours. Take a moment. We'll set ourselves up for downward facing dog. Look at your hands. Make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide. You have a really good grip of the mat, so we're not dumping all the weight in our wrists. Pick up your feet, tuck your toes, lift your lower belly, lift your knees, and start to send your hips back. Lining up your ears with your biceps, and then hover here in your, we'll move into downward facing dog, turbo dog, that's it, brain fart, turbo dog here. So in turbo dog, your shins are parallel to the earth. Lift your belly, lift your ribs, lift your heart. So the spine is lifting, not sinking. You should feel this in the front of your thighs. If you want more, open up the knees, send your hips back. And then inhale, send the hips up, straighten out the legs the best you can. If your hamstrings are pretty tight, keep your knees soft. And then just start to pedal out your heels. Left, right, left, right. Shake your head, no. Shake your head, yes. Bend and straighten your elbows a few times. And then let's just linger in down dog for 3 breaths. Pressing down with your hands, wrap your triceps to the back, feeling space between the shoulders. Lift your belly, lift the ribs, lift the back of the heart up towards the back body. Inhale here together. Open up your mouth and say, ah. On your next inhale, we're gonna ripple forward into a high plank pose where the shoulders come over the wrists. Your gaze moves to the top of the mat. On an exhale, we're gonna lower halfway or all the way, with or without knees, to our chaturanga. And then our inhale will pull the chest forward and up for a cobra pose. We'll linger here for 3. Inhale in. At the beginning of your breath, engage Mula Bandha, the space between your sit bones. Feel the breath. Lift your belly, move into the sides of the waist, and then all the way up across the collarbones. And as you exhale, tighten up the front body, all the way to empty. One more inhale. Pull your hands back, pull your hips forward. And on an exhale, lift the hips, tuck your toes back to downward facing dog. And then we'll look back to the top of the mat, lift the heels, and take little baby steps all the way up. Feeling those sensations in the very back of your legs. When you get there, separate your feet to fist distance. Soften your knees and grab opposite elbows. And then just hang heavy for 3. 1. Exhale. Let your exhales be a little longer and a little slower. 2. Inhale for about 4 seconds. Exhale for a little longer than 4 seconds. One more. Feel free to sway around side to side or forward and back. Exhale to empty. And then we'll release the hands and slowly draw the belly in and rise up as we inhale. Roll your shoulders up and down your back. Fingertips reach towards the earth. Lift your kneecaps, firm up the thighs. Breathe here. Inhale, lift your belly, lift your ribs, feel your heart lift. Exhale, try to maintain the length and squeeze the belly and ribs in, tightening up the front body. Inhale, spread the fingers nice and wide. Reach your arms all the way up and look up. On the exhale, lean back into a little back bend. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring the gaze back to center. Soften your knees, open up the arms, and forward fold all the way over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale as you soften your knees, place your hands down, step it back into a high plank. You can always skip your vinyasa and meet in down dog. Inhale, the weight shifts over the wrist. Exhale, you lower halfway. Imagine pulling your hands and feet towards each other. Inhale, pull the heart forward and up, lifted cobra. Exhale, lift the belly, lift the hips, downward facing dog. A clearing breath here together. Inhale through your nose. Feel how the body lengthens. Open up your mouth and say, ah. Inhale, lift the heels, lift your right leg back and up. On an exhale, bend the knee and open up the hip. Look under your left armpit. Roll around your right ankle once or twice. Stay here for another few breaths or flip your dog. Reach your arm, right arm up and back, heart to the sky. On an inhale, we're going to circle it around. You can bring your right hand down if you're new. If you're not new, step your right foot all the way to the right and bring your hands inside the right foot for a lizard lunge. Take a deep breath here. You can stay on your hands or you can come onto your elbows. Inhale, lift the belly. Exhale, tighten up the belly, the ribs. With your forearms and hands down, make sure you're pushing away from the earth. Same with your hands. Don't sink, push away. 1 or 2 more breaths here. If you want to come back to your tucked toes and take your right hand to the right knee and maybe pivot your toes a little, just exploring some more space around your hips. We're going to lower the left knee if you lifted it. Lift the left foot and reach back for your left foot or ankle, stretching the front of your left thigh. Take a breath in and a breath out. Slowly bring your right foot to center. On the top of your back foot comes down and we'll stretch it back for a half split pose. Press down with your right heel and your left knee. Pull the right heel back, pull your left knee forward. So if we know where the work is, it makes getting into these poses easier. It makes being more mindful to the spine and the integrity of the pose. So we're not just dumping the weight on one side of the body, we're working equally. On your next inhale, your right hand is going to stay to the outside of your right foot. If you have a block, it might be necessary. Pick up the back knee and turn your left foot flat. And then stretch with your left hand forward. Start to open and spin your torso to the left. Take a nice deep breath in here. Push back with your left foot and reach with your left hand. On your next inhale, you're going to lift your left arm, press down with your right heel, and rise up to Warrior Two. Lining your right heel up with your back arch. Arms are nice and straight and strong. My left groin is drawing towards my right heel. My right knee is pushing forward. Flip your right palm, reach with your right hand forward, and then exhale, exalt, peaceful warrior. Left hand behind you for a bind to keep this right knee opening to the right, or take the left hand in front of you to draw the belly and ribs in. Push down a little more with your right heel, reach back a little more with your right hand. Inhale, bring yourself up, heel toe your left foot in once or twice. Gaze down 12 inches in front of your right pinky toe. Place your right hand down, half moon. Lift your left leg, left toes face to the left hand to the hip or the sky. So set your gaze on something small here. When our eyes are moving all over the place, we tend to get wobbly. Our breath becomes non-existent. One more inhale. You can lift that right arm if it's possible. Soften the right knee. Square your hips off. Bring both knees in. Round and curl the spine. Inhale, revolving half moon. Left hand 12 inches in front of the right big toe. Right hand to the right hip. Left toes face down now. Reach your right arm up. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Soften your right knee. Step your left foot back, lined up with your left hip. Walk your hands back to frame your right foot, pyramid pose. Press down with your feet, firm your thighs, take your hands to your hips, and slowly rise all the way up. Take a moment to check in. A lot of times I see that back foot in class directly behind the right. You want your feet lined up with your hip bones, so it's about 6 to 8 inches apart. Right hand on the right hip, left hand lifts up. Lift the kneecaps, firm the thighs, draw the belly and ribs in. Inhale, come halfway down and pause. Stretch with your left hand forward, inner spiraling your left thigh. Stretch with your right hand back, shaving the outer right hip. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to lower, walking your hands forward if possible. Pulling right hip back and left hip forward. Tucking your chin to your chest, maybe forehead to your knee. So good. On your next inhale, we're going to slide the hands back, Soften the right knee and pivot the toes to the left, widening your stance, wide leg fold. Walk your hands out, tent all 10 fingertips. Send your hips back like a wide leg downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the belly and the ribs. Exhale, imagine squeezing a beach ball between your inner thighs. Feel the inner arches lifting, not pressing down. Take your hands back underneath your shoulders. Look up halfway. Take your hands to your hips and rise all the way up. Interlace your fingers, right thumb on top. Press your palms together. Inhale, zip the quads, lift your gaze. And on an exhale, soften the knees and with a flat back, come all the way over. And the best you can, lift your hands away from your tailbone. Bring your gaze between the legs and breathe. Something? One more breath here. Bringing your hands to your tailbone and down to the mat. We're going to bend right and left a few times, coming into runner's stretch on the left side. Turning the left toes towards the back left corner of the mat. Keep your left heel down, lift your right toes up. Inhale, hands to heart, lowering the left shoulder to the inside of the left knee and reaching with your right arm to the right. One more breath here. Bringing your hands back to your heart and slowly inhale, lifting yourself up and over to the other side, using your hands to assist you or not to challenge you. Taking the right hand to the heart and the left hand to the sky. Hands come back to the heart. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Lift yourself up, bringing yourself all the way to the back of your mat. Left side crescent lunge. Big breath in. Squeezing your inner thigh, shaving outer left hip back, spiraling right thigh forward. Exhale, take your hands to your heart, lowering your right knee down. Take your right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Prayer twist. If you want more, lift the back knee. If you want more, open up, spread your wings. If you have a half bind, left hand, palm on the back. If you have a full bind, right hand meets the left. Try to get your right heel over your toes, right thigh lifting. So good. Take it all the way back down to a lunge. Inhale, exhale. Right hand will come down, left fingertips 10. We'll find our way into a side plank pose. Lift the left arm up and pause. Stack, stagger, or modify here. Left bicep by your ear. Give you enough time to either find your own shape in these poses or even take a break. We're going to spin it around to our left forearm. Stack the feet, or you can modify by lowering the hips. Lift the right arm or bring your right hand by your head, trying to spin the heart open to the sky. One more breath here. Bringing it around to a forearm plank. Holding here for 5, 4, firm up the thighs, sit bones towards your heels, navel to spine, ribs in and up. Lift up your hips, walk your feet in, finding a forearm down dog, or if you have a headstand practice, headstand, or if you have a forearm stand practice, maybe you're just trying, lift one leg, maybe the other one floats up. One more breath. We're going to meet back in a downward facing dog. Stay here or Vinyasa. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you need a break, take it now. If you want more, come into high plank and hold. Or lower your right elbow and then your left. And just move your hips side to side for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back up, downward facing dog. If you're in child's pose, come back down dog, and then on to the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg, backing up. Bend the knee, open the hip, look under your right armpit to keep your shoulders parallel to the top of the mat. Stay there or flip your dog. And then we'll slowly come back around. You can bring your left hand down or you can step the left foot up, left hand inside the left foot. Lizard lunge. Lowering the right knee and untucking the toes. Feel free to linger here on your hands, or if you have the availability and space, lower to your elbows. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. If you came back up to your hands and tucked your toes, do that here, taking the toes to the left and maybe pushing with your left hand the left knee to the left. Bringing it back, lowering the right knee down and reaching back with your left hand. Be mindful of the left knee. Don't let it go over the ankle. Keep it right on top. We're gonna slowly release the back foot and heel toe your left foot in for half split pose. Inhale and exhale. Lift up the or firm up the thigh, lift up the kneecap, hug the left foot back, right knee forward. One more breath here. And then we'll come into our Parsvakonasana, our side angle pose. Left hand to the outside of the left foot. Your right foot turns flat. This left heel lines up with the back foot. Reach with your right hand forward, push back with the outer right foot, and spin the torso open. That back leg is straight and strong, and your left heel is grounded and pushing down into the earth. Reach with your right hand as if someone were pulling you up to your warrior two pose. Make any adjustments you need here. Move your right groin towards your left heel to square the hips off. Flip your left palm. Inhale, reach it forward. And exhale, exalt. Peaceful warrior. Pressing down with the left heel. Energetically, left knee moves forward and your left hand reaches back. Bring it back to warrior two. Heel toe your right foot in once or twice. Half moon pose. Left hand 12 inches in front of your left pinky toe. Right hand reaches up. Arms are at 6 and 12. Your right toes face the right, and your left rib cage moves towards your left thigh. If you want to float that left hand up, steady your gaze, steady your breath. Softening the left knee, lowering the right hand down, revolving half moon. Lift the left arm up, spinning the chest open to the left. And bringing it back in, bring the knee in, decompress, and step your right foot back for pyramid pose. So your feet, all 10 toes facing forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Squeeze the inner thigh, zip the quads, hands to hips, and slowly rise up. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Take your left hand just to place on the front of the left thigh to keep the outer left hip drawing back as you come halfway down. Reach with your left hand back, reach with your right hand forward. So your left hip back, right hip forward. We'll lower the hands all the way down in front of the left foot. Stretch all the way out as far as you can. If you have to soften one knee, soften both. One more deep breath. You're going to slide your hands back, lift up the left toes, and pivot around to the right, widening your stance. And this time, taking your hands back through the legs. And then if you have a practice where you like to go up into inversions, you have some more time on this side. Notice the weight between your feet. Notice if the arches are pressing down or lifting up. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. If your feet are still down, you can stretch your fingertips out if you like. If your legs are up in the air, start to have an exit strategy. You'll have another opportunity on the other side. One more breath together. Open up the mouth and say, ah. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Lengthen your spine. And then hands to hips and slowly rise back up. Interlace your fingers. Left thumb on top this time. Palms press. Inhale, look up. And exhale, send the hips back and your heart forward. Do your best to try to lift the hands away from your tailbone. Maybe there's a little more space back there. Shake your head knowing yes. And then we'll take the hands to the tailbone, slide the hands down the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, and we'll go for a twist here. Left hand down, right hand to the hip, and then right hand to the sky. And maybe your gaze goes up. Stay there, or a half bind if you like to keep the left hip from dropping. You can lift it. One more breath. Press down a little more with your left hand. Lift the belly, lift the ribs. Lowering your right hand. And then take the left hand to your left hip. Maybe left hand to the sky. As the left hand lifts, try to lift that right hip. If you want a half bind, go for the half bind. And then we'll lower the left hand and we'll bend the knees left and right. Skaters. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bring it all the way back around to a right side lunge. And then inhale, high crescent pose. Right knee over the ankle. Left heel push back as the left thigh bone inner spirals forward. Lift your gaze, inhale. Exhale, take your hands to your heart, lowering that left knee. Prayer twist. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Pressing the hands together to initiate a deeper twist. Maybe lift that back knee if you did it on the other side. Open up, spread the wings. Maybe a half bind or a full bind. One more breath. We're gonna lower the left hand down, the right arm up, pivoting the toes, and meet me back in a side plank. Or any other version of this pose that you like to play. We're going to spin it around to a right side forearm side plank. Pushing away from the earth, lifting that left hip, engaging your thighs. to a forearm plank. Holding here or moving your hips side to side for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here, pause, 5, 4, push away from the earth, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees, lower your pubic bone, untuck the toes, Sphinx pose. Traction the spine by pulling your elbows back and feeling the energy of your hips coming forward. Look over your right shoulder. Look over your left shoulder. Bring it back to center. Maybe gaze up. And then we'll lower all the way down, bringing your forehead to the mat. As you stretch your hands back, bring your chin to the mat if that's possible. Press down with your feet to firm your thighs. Press down with your hands to engage your shoulders. Inhale, lift your right leg, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Open up the arms. Your shoulders are not going to move here. Bend your right knee. Don't move your shoulders. Open up the right hip. Keep the right shoulder down. If you want more, you can bring your right ear to the mat. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna lower our belly down, the right thigh down. Take your left hand under your left shoulder. Keep your right fingertips extended from the right shoulder, and then roll to the outer right hip. Place your left foot behind your right leg and lift your left arm up, opening across the chest. If it's possible, reach for that right hand. If you have any other version of this pose you want to play with, play. One more breath. Slowly coming out of it the way we got there, but come on to your left elbow, lift your right arm, lift your left elbow, and then thread the right arm across the top of the chest to counter the pose. You can keep your left hand in front. You can walk your left hand over to the right. And just breathe and let go. We're going to bend the left knee, hike your left knee to the left. Take your left arm over to the left and up to the sky, and then open up the chest. A feel-good stretch. Don't worry about the shoulder. Don't worry about the knee. Take a breath in. Open up your mouth and say, ah. And bringing it back to your belly. Back to your forehead. Arms back. Palms up. If possible, chin to the mat. Press down with the feet and the hands. Inhale, lift the left leg for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, open up the arms nice and wide like a T. Bend the left knee. Open up the left hip. Keep your left shoulder down. If the left shoulder lifts, you open the left hip too much, so close it up. 3 more breaths. 1, 2, 1 more. And then we'll lower the left leg back down. Take the right hand under the shoulder, left ear on the mat. Bend the right knee. Roll to your outer left hip. Reach the right arm up and back. See if you can grab the left hand. Lifting your head away from the mat. Finding any other version of this pose. One more breath. And then we'll counter the pose. Rolling back to the belly in the right forearm. Lifting the left arm up, lifting the right elbow, and threading it through. Right hand in front or right hand all the way over to the left. We're going to bend the right knee, hike the right knee to the right. Take your right arm to the right and up. Open up the heart to the sky. Feel good stretch. From here, the transition's nice and easy. We're just going to come to our backs. And bring the knees in. Lift your head up. Give yourself a big hug. On an inhale, your belly drops into the spine and your head comes back to the mat. Rock it side to side a few times. Take your ears with you. And then take your hands on your knees and circle your knees around in opposite directions. And reverse it. Pigeon pose. Right ankle on the left thigh. Lift up the left foot. Draw the left knee in and push the right knee away. If you want to thread your right hand through the hole and find the other hand to interlace, feel free. This is usually when we stop working is hard. Focusing on our breath, slowing it down, smoothing it out, nice and even. Relax your jaw, your face. We'll cross the right knee directly over the left. Relax your hands on one of the knees. And then we'll switch. Take both legs up for a brief pause. Roll the ankles. Give the legs a little shake. And then right foot down. Left ankle on the right thigh. Pull the right knee in. Push your left knee out. yourself to just get quiet, connecting to the stillness, the breath, this moment. Taking these little breaks out of our day just to connect, to ground. Left knee over the right, hands on one of your knees, and just let go. One more breath. Lift your arms and the legs up, rolling around your wrists and ankles. If you need the support of your hands to hold your legs up, do that. And then coming into bridge pose. Place your feet down, hip bone distance apart, hands by your side. Take a deep breath in. And on an exhale, peel your spine off the mat, one vertebra at a time, working your way up to the back of your shoulders. Press down and in with your feet. Try not to squeeze your glutes so much. They're going to activate no matter what. Try to focus more on the inner legs. Interlace your fingers underneath you, or reach your arms back behind you. Or if you have a full wheel practice, hands behind the shoulders. Inhale, press down in order to rise. 5 more breaths. 1, 2, 3. If it makes sense, push in. You're in full wheel. Push into your feet and send your heart back. One more breath. We'll slowly, on an inhale, start to lower all the way down, coming back in to dead bug pose. Feel free to roll around the wrists and ankles, working through those sensations, especially if you did a full wheel, feeling it in the wrist. And then we'll take a happy baby pose. If it feels good to rock side to side, rock side to side. If you want to kick into your hands, try to straighten one leg at a time. If you have the flexibility, straighten both at the same time. If you have a shoulder stand practice, we'll walk through it together. Bring the knees in, hands by your side. Lift your legs up, and then use your hands to lift the low back off the mat. Bringing your toes towards the ground for plow. But don't worry if the toes touch or not. Interlace your fingers, rocking the arm bones under the body, and then place all 10 fingertips up on your sacrum. On an inhale, lift one leg or both legs at the same time. Lift your chin off your chest. Spread the toes. See if you can Make space between all 10 toes. Stay a little longer or start to exit out the way you got there. We'll meet back in our dead bug pose. And then we'll bring the right knee in, interlacing your fingers around the right knee. Slowly lower your left foot all the way down. Take your right knee towards your right shoulder, keeping your feet flexed at about 50%, so not too much. Just enough to feel the feet. With your left hand, relax your feet and start to guide your right knee over to the left. Reach with your right arm to the right, look right. Inhale and exhale. One more breath here. Inhale your gaze center, then the right knee comes in. Bring your left knee in. Lift your right leg up, flex both your feet, and very slowly lower your right leg all the way down. Keeping the feet flexed. Take your left knee to your left shoulder. Start to relax your feet, and with your right hand, guide your left knee to the right. Knee down, twist. Keep the left shoulder grounded. Inhaling as you come back to center, left knee in, right knee in. Lift up your legs and take your arms underneath the back of your legs. Bear claw your hands where you're hooking the fingers. Relax your feet and rock side to side. And then just pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let the knees open up nice and wide. Let gravity pull your knees down. Bring your arms off the mat, palms face up. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open up your mouth and say, ah. 2 more deep breath in. And a deep breath out. One more. Bring your knees together and separate your feet. Rock your knees if you need to, and then just let go. Reminding yourself of your intention. Remind yourself to take these little breaks throughout your day, just to give your mind a rest, focus more on your breathing, letting go of things that are taking space in the mind, repetitive thoughts, or thoughts that just simply don't serve you. Feel free to stay right here for your final Shavasana, or stretch your legs out to each corners of your mat. Thank you so much for tuning in. Namaste.